Well, this is how much I like Beats. Whether they're on sale or not, I'll buy them. And that's saying something, because Billy Duggan knows I like me a sale. Well, do you know, this is not only Beats number one stereo headphones, it is the lowest price in America. I don't care, you could shop coast to coast. What's interesting is when I said I own every incarnation of Beats that we've ever sold here at HSN, when I've purchased Solos in the past, they've been bigger, they've been clunkier, they've had like almost another digit, well, they have had another digit in front of that $99 price. I own their Bluetooth ones, and again, they're great, they're fine, they're fabulous. However, they're bigger, they're clunkier, and quite candidly, when I travel, I don't want to have to worry about running out of juice. I prefer, unless I'm on the treadmill, I prefer a wired headphone, which means, in my own opinion, I think you get better fidelity because you're doing that direct connection, you're getting more comfort, and you're getting high definition. It's stylish, there's the cachet, oh yeah, and lowest price in America. Only thing you have to do is pick your color of choice. Now, our red has actually been the most popular, and it's our most limited. I just want to point out, the red is, after my own heart, it's really kind of a burgundy or a Cabernet or a Merlot red. Oh, a Trans Am red is what my producer says. Then we've got this beautiful brush silver that everybody's in love with. I love the blue too. I think that's just electric. It's so much fun. And how can you go wrong with black? Less than $20. It's free shipping. And I got to tell you, I don't care where you shop, coast to coast, you are not getting these for $99, my friends. And not only that, it's the lowest price that we've ever done it. You choose the colors, and that's the other thing. I have purchased Beats elsewhere. I really have. I'm happy to do it because I'm a Beats fanatic. 5-pay flex pay, and this is a one-shot deal. This is today and today only. We have sold hundreds of thousands of Beats just here at HSN, and that's whether they're at the regular price or the sale price. We will not honor this again. Oh, and one final thing. If you are one of those almost 400,000 people like I am who love them, please call us, hold at the end of the call. Or if you're someone who's always had headphone envy, I will tell you this. If you give Beats, you've got brownie points for a lifetime. And I can think of a lot of things I've purchased here and elsewhere, shoes and otherwise, which if they have a year of usage or life, I'm lucky. Do you know every pair of Beats headphones that I've ever purchased here at HSN, and I've been buying them here at this network and